stopping by.
I'm glad to be here.
I know that everybody was looking forward to having you here today. So talk to me a little bit about that, because, you know, for Republicans and conservatives, they look at that number. It's got to make them a little bit nervous, because as people start to feel, well, maybe there's some light at the end of the tunnel, maybe I should stick with the guy that we've got.
Well, you know, the way I'm looking at this is going to come down to not even so much a partisan election come fall time. It's going to come down to a government party and a freedom party, and which one will have better ideas on really how to get the economy back on the right track. Those approval ratings, I believe, are reflective of some misinformation given to the American public. I believe that the unemployment number that was spewed recently is based on fewer Americans actually giving it the old college trying to find a job. They've been quite discouraged, and there are more Americans out of work, 13 million Americans out of work, right, and many who are not even trying right now to find a job. They're hoping that Obama will be replaced at the ballot box, and then they'll get out there and they'll seek that employment.
You know, and the White House even is sort of preparing people, you know, for, well, we may have some tougher unemployment numbers down the road. Mm-hmm. Clearly, they're going to be happy with the numbers that they've seen lately, because the trend line looks good, and there's that feeling. You know, it seems to me that, as you point out, I don't know that there is this sort of easy decision between the, you know, sort of smaller government conservative and President Obama at this point. And you yourself said that so far none of these candidates, you believe, have actually articulated what you want them to articulate. And then you've got Mitt Romney basically saying, look, what more can I say? I've made it perfectly clear that I'm conservative on all of these issues, but you're not satisfied.
What more that they can say, all the candidates, not just Romney, is how it is that we can shrink government in order to allow the private sector to grow and thrive, so that our small businesses especially can start hiring more people. Instead, but a lot of this has to do with what the media covers, but instead what the focus seems to have been on is this horse race within the GOP, right, and kind of jostling for position there. We talk about who's up, who's down, when what we need to talk about is the American public is down right now, and how do we allow everybody to rise, to succeed by getting government off our back, out of the way.
You know, you seem to speak so often to, you know, sort of that's part of the party that is tough and is a fighter and wants to do something different, wants a more radical change, and really wants to get. But I think a lot of people do sort of fall in that middle area where perhaps they're nervous about the future, and they say, you know, do I want to try somebody different, or do I want to stick with the guy that I've got? Let's take a look at some of these polls, and in the control room, we want to look now at the head-to-heads with Rick Santorum and then Romney. That's the direction of the economy, which you can see, 34%. Those numbers improving. They think it's getting a little bit better, and that feeds into this number, I think, as well. In the presidential race, you've got President Obama over Mitt Romney, over Rick Santorum, 49 to 41. And here's the Romney number, 42 to 48. If the race were held right now, Governor Palin, it looks like those two candidates would lose.
Well, I don't put a lot of stock in polls, and I've said before, you know, polls are good for cross-country skiers and for strippers. So there's a lot of volatility in them, and I don't put that stock in there. Again, what it's going to come down to is Americans need to know who it is that they can trust. Can they trust that Obama is going to change his stripes and all of a sudden understand what the free market is all about? No, I do not trust that he will. He is not inherently able to do that. It doesn't seem like it is within his DNA that he would ever be able to turn to those constitutional principles that built America into a very prosperous and safe and voluntarily generous nation. Anybody on the GOP ticket would be better equipped and better prepared to turn us to the right where it is that we need to go.
I mean, some of this, we saw the response that you got at CPAC was overwhelming. They were putting, you know, crowds were flowing into other rooms. They wanted somebody like you that connects with them, that gets them fired up, who's tough and a fighter. That's a description that for a while seemed to fit Newt Gingrich, but then he seemed to lose ground with these folks. I mean, how do you see yourself? What's your role for the future? And do you ever wish that you had given it a go?
You know, I am just like one of millions and millions and millions of other Americans, knowing that you can make a difference without a title, without that position. And I appreciate that freedom that I have as an American to speak my heart and to have been given, and I feel blessed to have been given a platform where I can, I think, reflect a lot of what just common sense, constitutional fiscally and socially conservatives are thinking right now, and that is we cannot afford 4 more years of Barack Obama. We cannot afford to slash our military while other militaries across the world are increasing their funds and their numbers, not in this volatile, dangerous world that we are in. And we cannot afford to just assume that Barack Obama gets it when it comes to getting the economy on the right track.
So I got to go. No regrets, I'm hearing.
Now, we're doing fine.
Governor Palin, thank you very much. A lot to
you.
talk about. Hopefully we'll continue the conversation down the road, but thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Good to see you.